Hi there, good noon and welcome to yet another session where we sit down and talk about CMAT. So the significant difference between my last CMAT session and this CMAT session is that notification is out. So that uncertainty that we had about whether the exam will be conducted or not, that has now been taken care of. We know that the exam is going to happen. Yes, we do not know the cities, we do not know the exact date yet, but we at least know the month. So I am going to continue working with my previous hypothesis. So with that, I welcome you to BYJU'S exam prep. This is a place which is meant for you so that your preparation continue to move along the right direction. And to that extent, we keep on bringing tons of sessions for you on this platform. So please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and if you do not want to miss out on any of the sessions that we bring, it'll be a lovely idea to turn the notifications on by pressing the bell icon. So with that, here is something for you to ponder. So I believe in the power of setting goals. I believe in the power of moving consciously towards things that we want to achieve. I hope you too do that. And with that thought, with that intention, let us go ahead and start the fourth part of our CMAT language comprehension preparation session. So we don't know the date, but I am keeping the date, the tentative date, to be 12th of May. Let's treat that as our goal, our date on which we need to perform exceedingly well. So quick overview of the exam: 180 minutes, computer based, 100 questions, +4 -1 marking scheme, and there are 5 different sections. There is no sectional time limit or a sectional cutoff, right? So the 5 sections are quant and DI. So those of you who are not very strong at quant, you can definitely go ahead and you'd probably love this exam more. Then a section on logical reasoning, a section on general awareness, a section which was made mandatory only last year and was in fact introduced a year before that as an optional section. So innovation and entrepreneurship, we have been taking sessions on this as well. We will be taking some classes on innovation and entrepreneurship too. In fact, we have an entire series of lectures in our paid course, but more on that later. And then of course the area that I am here to talk about, language comprehension. So each one of these 5 sections get 20 questions each, totaling to 100 questions. Within language comprehension, you get questions that are based on vocabulary, questions that are based on grammar, questions that are based on RC, and questions that are based on jumbles. So the jumbles can be sentence jumbles or para jumbles. So if I look at, if I look at last year, we had 7 questions each from both of these areas, 5 questions from reading comprehension and 1 para jumble, totaling to 20. So that's what the breakup for the last year was. So got the drift? So now tell me, is there anything else that you want to know about the exam before we dive? So, you know, I have these 2 series running parallelly. There is a series which says 100 most important CMAT language comprehension questions. Whatever I do in that series, every session brings you a mixed bag of questions, the kind of questions that you should expect to meet in the exam. And then here is this series where we focus on one specific area or one specific aspect more. So today, the aspect that I plan to focus more is grammar, and within grammar, the focus area is going to be general mixed bag error identification. If there is a particular area of grammar that bothers you more, do let me know in the comments, and I would love to create more such sessions for you. So let's dive into our error identification questions. So before I take you through the questions, do you have a question? Here are the directions for these questions. Go ahead, read them carefully, and then we'll talk. Nandi, difficulty level of CMAT. Yeah, CMAT is usually an easy exam, not a very challenging exam. So I say when I talk about RC, The questions so far have been mostly fact-based or direct questions. Grammar can appear difficult to some people who are not very well prepared. Same goes for vocabulary, but otherwise, I mean, when it comes to vocab and grammar, if you know the words or the grammatical concepts, it's easy. If you do not, it is difficult. But they have not really created questions out of some very obscure grammar concepts or some very obscure, I'd say, words. So to that extent, easy to moderate maybe. The para jumble is usually on the easier side. Okay, so let's dive into your very first question. So remember, every question gives you 4 sentences. 3 of those sentences are grammatically incorrect. They have some error or the other in them. 1 is correct. Your job is to identify that one sentence which is grammatically correct. So here you go. Question number 1. Go ahead and give it your best shot. So, shall we go ahead and dive into this? Shall we look at it? Okay, so Vikram has shared his answer. So let's start. I think A is definitely incorrect. It uses an series instead of a series and therefore should be ruled out, should be eliminated. Vikram has picked up C. Let me see. Is it okay to say at Venezuela? Shouldn't it be in Venezuela? We're talking about a country. We're not talking about a specific place. So C is also ruled out. So B or D, one of these must be right. Okay, so you notice to investing, to plus a gerund. No, you needed an infinitive here, so it should be to invest. So D is also wrong, and that basically leaves you with B. So B is the only one which is grammatically correct, but good shot, good shot. You at least could figure out what is wrong in 2 of those sentences. That's as good as it gets. So here is your next question. Okay, this is a relatively difficult question. I see now that I've gone through these sentences, I notice some of these errors are pretty challenging. So I think the error in A is quite obvious. This is should be was. This what it once is talking about the past, right? So you needed past, so A cannot be your answer. B, when you say this effect, you know, the effect has not been stated as a noun. This is a pronoun, right? A pronoun is supposed to refer to a noun, but that noun is not stated, and in such scenarios where the noun is not stated, where you do not have a specific noun that this is that the pronoun is referring to, we don't use this, we actually use that. So instead of this should be that, rules out B. And if I look at D, we are talking about two simultaneous activities in D. So the correct word to use will be while and not when. So D is also ruled out. C is the only correct one. Therefore, the answer is C. So Vikram, you've got it spot on. Absolutely yes. And here is your next question. Oh, Sonu has also managed to get this right. Fantastic, man. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into question number 3. So, you notice that normally when we use adjectives, they are put before the noun. But then there are these rare times when the adjective comes immediately after the noun that it modifies. In a grammar book, there is a longish technical word that is thrown in for it. They call it post-positive adjectives or post-nominal adjectives. Okay, so here when you look at the first sentence, we don't say apparent air, we say air apparent. So A is wrong. So A should not be our answer. Similarly, you notice this. We don't say general attorney, we say attorney general. And the exact same thing in D as well you have. It should be poet laureate. So I'll give you another example which is more commonly found. It's called president-elect. So all of these are post-positive adjectives that come immediately after the noun that they modify. These are treated more as an exception to the norm. So A, C and D all happen to have a problem with that particular type of adjective. B on the other hand is pretty sound. It's absolutely all right, and therefore should be an answer to this question. Here is your next one. You're talking about the previous one. Yeah, I'd have to go back and see. That more is absolutely all right in the previous question. His management of the war, more especially on Lake Champlain, is fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's one of those quaint structures that we don't see very frequently around us, but it was right. Most, we don't need a superlative there. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. Whenever the two nouns are joined using neither nor on the subject side, the verb agrees with the noun which is closer. In this case, the noun that is closer is Rohit, which is singular. So instead of were, it should be was. So A is grammatically incorrect. So what else would you like to choose? So the issue of subject verb agreement in A. Then I think C also has this subject verb agreement. Okay, when each is the subject, each is singular, so the verb should also be singular. This is called so A and C both subject verb agreement ruled out. So B versus C now. The moment I see this for years, something that started in the past and is going on even now, and the sentence also mentions when it started. You are looking for present perfect continuous tense and not simple present tense. So instead of this is, it should have been around for years, and therefore these also ruled out. So Vikram, in option B, it is it apostrophe s. I know, maybe I think I am able to see the apostrophe or make it out rather clearly given the font size. Here it is, and we needed it is. It is best to be prepared for anything and not it's best. That will be incorrect. So B on the other hand is a grammatically correct sentence and therefore should be our answer. Next. If you remove the apostrophe, then it becomes a possessive case. So it's without the apostrophe shows possession. It apostrophe s is the contracted form, short form of it is. Whoa, that was quick. Good going, huh? So in question number 5, C is indeed the correct answer. Let me quickly take you through the errors. I'll just highlight the errors and then you can ask the ones that you want to discuss. So that's the problem with A. The before luggage needs to be removed. Let me give you the reason since we have not encountered it yet. Luggage is uncountable. So a or an can only be put before a singular countable noun. If a noun is not a singular countable noun, we cannot use a or an before it. C is grammatically correct. D, he said such ridiculous things that he was often. You know, the moment you say said, you know that you're talking about the past. So the next clause also needs to be in the past. So therefore A, B and D are ruled out. C should be the answer. So A, subject verb agreement, B, articles, D focuses on the correct understanding or the correct use of tense. Here is the next one for you. B, let's see. Don't you think it requires a do here? The verb is missing. It is being assumed that the handyman or the foreman failed to do or perform. If not do, then maybe let's just write it here. So you need do, perform, something along those lines. So B has a verb missing. A happens, the subject is immunization, right? Singular. So you require prevents. It needs a singular verb. So A is also wrong. And D, when we talk about hypotheticals, we use were and not am. If I were rich, then I would definitely start investing in land and stocks. C, on the other hand, is right. So therefore, that should be our answer to this particular question. And with that, let me ask you this next one. Ooh. Vikram, where light and darkness are parallel. If you look at it from that parallelism angle, they are. Two nouns are being joined with a conjunction. So that's fine. Okay, so let's dive into these. So question number 7. A lifelong Mumbaikar, she admitted that even at the age of 42, she did not know to drive a car. Verbs like know require how immediately afterwards. So it should have been, she did not know how to drive a car. So A is not correct. B, if you had worked hard. So you notice the moment you see, so this is a conditional sentence. So on the outcome side of conditional sentences, if you see would plus have plus verbs third form, then the condition side should use past perfect tense. So if you had worked hard instead of playing around. So B is also wrong. Then we have C. Some bookmakers offer each way betting for the 5 first places. No. It should have been for the first 5 places. So number should have come, the first should come before 5. So you probably learnt about the order of adjectives. So remember there are these ordinal numbers, first, second, third, fourth, and cardinal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ordinals come before cardinals and therefore first 5 places. So C is as a result also ruled out. D on the other hand is correct. So that should be picked up as our answer. So that's about our grammar based questions or general grammar based questions, but I do have more planned for you. So is there something specific that you want me to focus on moving forward? Something that has been troubling you while going through your practice or maybe while going through the mocks, etc. I would love to help you with that as well. Otherwise, you know that we have a very thorough, very comprehensive CMAT program, which gives you a lot of videos that give you the foundation, the basics for a lot of different topics. And here are some of the features as well. And it's very attractively priced for that matter. So you can definitely give it a go. For even more practice now, although it is not a CMAT mock, but then you notice CMAT and CAT do show some similarity. Both have RCs, both have parajumbles. So the difficulty level here could be high, but then what matters is good quality practice and benchmarking. So if you want additional practice, you can appear for the All India Open Mock, whose window has opened today, and that will tell you where you stand vis-a-vis the competition. Okay, it may not exactly be the CMAT level thing, but it is still something. In case you want to discuss anything more with us one-on-one, you can fill up this form, and somebody from our team would love to sit down with you, listen to your concerns, talk about the preparation plan that you're using, and maybe if you are considering or contemplating our course but you're not very sure of whether it will be a good fit for you or not, you can probably pick it up here as well. So that's what I had brought for you today. Until I see you next, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch, keep working hard, and we'll meet in the next session. Have a great day ahead. See you soon.